If you've ever wanted to build a brand new beginners friendly makeup kit, then this is the video for you. Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm a makeup artist. I teach makeup lessons virtually as well as in person. If you don't follow me already, head over to my Instagram. I post a lot of digestible makeup content as well as here on YouTube. So if you don't follow me already, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that like button and that notification bell. And let's get into the video. Now, this is purely a beginner's makeup kit. So these products are very easy to use, very easy to blend. All the products I have fit very nicely in here. Every product that I'm going to share with you today is part of the list of products that I recommend having for my makeup lesson. I will also leave a link down below to my Like to Know It page where I will have all of these individual makeup products linked. A lot of these are going to be very shade specific to each individual person. So if you need help shade matching, please head over to my Instagram, send me a DM. I can shade match you in like under a minute. Okay? I think that's all I have to say. That was quite a lot, actually. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is moisturizer. You can use whatever moisturizer you have. Just always use a moisturizer. I've been using the Good Molecules silicone-free priming moisturizer, and I really, really like this. Okay, the next thing I recommend having is a good smoothing primer. This is the Wet n Wild Impossible Primer, as well as my #1 recommendation for a primer where you're like, I don't really know what I want my primer to do. I just want a primer to do something better for my makeup than what it does without one. So this is what I recommend. Next thing I recommend is a foundation. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. It's easy to apply. It's not matte. It's not super dewy. It's kind of like a medium full coverage. So basically, once you use this, you can really determine which direction you want to go with your makeup. Do you like more dewy? Do you like more matte? Or a lot of times people just end up loving this. The next thing I recommend having is a concealer. I love the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. All right, let's talk about cream products. These are the cream products that I recommend because they are so beginner friendly. They're easy to blend out. They're not super pigmented. So these are the e.l.f. Putty blushes and bronzers. So I get these. They come in a really nice pot. You can dip your brush directly in them. Use your finger to apply it to your face. There's a lot of ways to use these, but these are the ones I recommend for starting out. All right, now let's talk about powder blush. And I love these. They are the Revlon. What are they? The Revlon. Oh. Powder blush. Okay. And I also recommend having a powder bronzer. So these e.l.f. primer infused bronzers are great. I think they only come in 2 shades. So if you are very deep, I do have another recommendation for you. The next thing I recommend having is a setting powder. You can do a pressed powder or a loose setting powder. I always recommend a loose setting powder. I find that it is the most universal for everyone. The one I left from the drugstore is the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. The next thing I recommend having is a highlighter. Now, I do not layer cream and powder highlighters. I use one highlighter. You can determine whether or not cream or powder works for you. The highlighter that I recommend having for the beginner's kit is the Essence Pure Nude highlighter. This is absolutely gorgeous. I just love that it kind of just gives a nice like natural sheen to the skin as opposed to sparkle. We don't like sparkle. Okay, the next thing we are going to talk about are brows, lips, and eyes. So the best eyeshadow palettes that I've found for a beginner's makeup kit are the Wet n Wild Color Icon 5-pan eyeshadow palettes. This one in particular is the one that I find works for the most people. It is very neutral. It has a very nice inner corner highlight, a couple really nice kind of mid-tone shimmer shades, a great dark eyeshadow for eyeliner, and a good like crease shade. Do have a lot of colorways, so if you prefer to have a different colorway, absolutely. The next thing I want to talk about are brows. So I love the e.l.f. This is the Brow Quad. Now it comes with a tinted brow gel pomade. It also comes with like this wax. I'd never used these. All I use are the powders. I wish e.l.f. would come out with just the powder duos. They are incredible. They come in 5 or 6 different shades. I find that these are very universally flattering, so I recommend having this in your beginner's kit. The other thing that I recommend having for your brows is a good brow gel. Now, this is the only item in my collection that I would not consider affordable. It is $25 for this clear brow gel. Never, like 5 years ago, if you had asked me if I would be recommending a $25 clear brow gel to somebody, I'd be like, no, I would never do such a thing. But never say never, because this is the most incredible brow gel I have ever used in my entire life. But it just defines the brow hair. It holds them in place, but it's not crunchy or sticky or goopy. It is just a gorgeous, almost like serum texture. So it's not waxy at all. It's beautiful. It also comes with a comb and a brush. So if you want to do more of a laminated look, you can. I don't particularly, but if you want to, you can do that. The next thing I recommend having in your beginner's kit is a good mascara. This is the Essence Lash Princess Curl and Volume Mascara. This particular one in the pink and black bottle is the one that I recommend because it is the most universal flattering. It gives volume, it gives length, it gives curl, and it's only $5. Okay, the next makeup product we're going to talk about are lips. Now, this is going to be something that's very shade specific, obviously, to you. This is the color combo that I love and use. But in particular, the Morphe lip liners are incredible. They're only $5. So I recommend having one of these. And then I recommend these Maybelline Vinyl Ink Superstay Liquid Lipsticks. These are so incredible. This is actually what I'm wearing right now. They have a little bit of shine to them. They're very long wearing, but they're so thin and comfortable on the lips. So I always recommending having these two in your beginner's kit, and then you can pick the colors that work best for you. Also, remember, if you need any help color matching or shade matching, head over to my Instagram, send me a DM, and I can get you done in like a minute. It's free. I don't charge. And the last product that I recommend having is a setting spray. The one that I love is currently in my makeup kit downstairs, so I will insert a picture. But it is the L'Oreal Infallible Setting Spray. I recommend having a setting spray, even if you are like, oh, I don't know, I don't really think they do anything. Trust me, they're very useful. So you'll definitely want to be adding that to your kit. The next thing we're going to talk about are tools. So these are the tools that I recommend having in order for you to be able to properly use the makeup products that we just talked about. So the first thing I recommend having is a makeup sponge. These are from Amazon. I love these. You can get a pack of 6 or 8 for $10, I think. Definitely a makeup sponge. The next thing I recommend having is a powder puff. I also buy these off of Amazon. Pressing your powder into your face with a powder puff is much more flattering than a brush. All right, the next brushes I want to talk about are for our cream blush and cream bronzer. I recommend having a dense, rounded edge brush. Now, this is going to be used for your cream blush and your cream bronzer. I use the same brush for both. You can buy one of each. I'll have them all linked down below, but I use one for both. You want one that's nice and dense, but also very soft. For your powders, I do recommend having 2 separate brushes for your blush and bronzer. One that's a little bit more of a rounded edge for your blush, and then maybe one that's a little bit more narrow. And ideally with an angle, this is going to be the perfect brush for your powder bronzer. And then for the eyes, these are the eyeshadow brushes I recommend having. I recommend having one that is more of like a fluffy, larger, loose blending brush. One that's a little more dense for packing on a darker eyeshadow, maybe a shimmer on the lid, or maybe a little on the lower lash line. I also recommend having an angled brush for applying your eyeliner, which in my lessons I specifically teach how to do your eyeliner using an eyeshadow. And then I also recommend having a brow brush, one specifically that's dual-ended with an angle at the top and then a spoolie at the bottom. All right, that is the full kit, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and be sure to follow me on Instagram where you can learn more about my makeup services. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.